Sadly, young Suleiman Dawood's worst fears, his nightmares, were realised. Suleiman did not want to go to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean with his father, Mr. Dawood, who I had pondered had been a little bit manipulated maybe into wanting to go on this really dangerous expedition, wanting to be an adventurer, wanting to go up that notch, and become somebody who could be respected and thought of with awe, because that is what we think of when we think of how brave people are and how courageous people are when they do these death-defying things. And I think if certain safety checks and protocols were followed, perhaps it wouldn't have been such a folly. But there were such clear problems, and it was clearly a life-threatening mission. The odds were number one, from what I can understand, having the carbon with the titanium, both acting under pressure in different ways. The plexiglass or perspex that was not rated to go down as deep as the 12,500 feet. Sometimes people just have dumb luck, and when you are an older man who has lived a life of pushing the envelope, pushing your boundaries, I think perhaps for the same kicks, I'm not sure, but it's got to do something to you psychologically, and there is a real sense, of pushing this envelope. It was very unfair for Suleiman to be there as well. He didn't want to go, and I think, this is one thing I'd theorized, is when the person pulled out because of safety concerns, the spots come up and father has pressured son to do this amazing, awe-inspiring bonding experience where, they can both elevate themselves in the world, and it will be something that they will, springboard the son's adult life with, and they will be held in esteem, and, it'll give Mr. Dawood more of what maybe he's requiring in life. He was an industrialist. I think he comes from a family that run all sorts of types of businesses and operations throughout the world, and maybe he's not been on that flip side of people with money that can live lives of excitement and adventure, pushing these boundaries. He may have been very influenced by Hamish Harding and Paul-Henri Nargelet, who, have a lot of achievements under their belt. And Stockton Rush seems like someone who really did sell snow to Inuits. He did really sell sand to Arabian countries. He's done a really good sales job on Mr. Dawood, to the point where, to keep the mission making the most money at high risk, he has managed to fill that other spot rather than go without that extra funding for that seat. And it is so disappointing. The confused feelings that the Dawood family, extended family, must be having, it's got to be so painful to cope with. They're grieving the loss. They must want to feel so angry. It is the aunt of Suleiman. I don't know if it's his dad or his mum's sister or a sister-in-law that has come out to say, to confirm that he was very frightened. He didn't want to go. He was doing it because Dad wanted him to. I mean, their feelings are running so complex and so deep. It's got to mess with you so ultimately to know that Suleiman didn't want to go and that his fears were realized. See you later.